Alright folks, this is a quick video to explain the changes in Causality 1.1. The main reason for 1.1 is a total rewrite of the whiteboard. Besides bringing some killer workflows with lanes and auto layout, it has much better performance on especially very large documents, and it gets us ready for collaboration. First of all, we have some new terminology. Everything is now in lanes, which are these horizontal dividers. You create lanes by dragging and dropping them in. And you can collapse lanes into these mini versions that show the activity. So now you can build enormous stories with many layers. You can also rearrange lanes to see any storyline up against any other storyline. And you can solo them. So if I have a storyline at the top and one at the bottom, I can select them both, and then right-click and select Solo Lanes. Now I'm only seeing these two lanes, regardless of how far apart they were, and now I can work on the cross-cutting between them. And let's show all of them again. Inside lanes, we have what used to be called arcs, but are now called blocks, which better indicates that they're a chunk of a story. So you have lanes, inside of them you have blocks, and inside of them you have story points, which you can put into groups when you have a lot of them that belong together. The app controls the layout inside the lanes. So if blocks become too large, they push each other out of the way inside the lane. You also can't place blocks exactly where you want, like on top of each other. You can only swap their order. This gives us complete auto layout, and you'll find that you completely stop thinking about the layout. It just works itself out. Even if you go work in the script for a long time, when you come back to the whiteboard, you'll find that it was matching the script all along. There's no difference between the whiteboard and the script now. They're always in lockstep. One of the most fundamental tools is now command or control dragging, where you hold command and drag something to increase space. The entire layout is actually based on this now, and you can command drag anything. So I'll command drag a block to insert some space where I can put a new block. Or I'll command drag a group. And now check this out, I can also command drag things inside of groups. So this is how you do cross-cutting now. You open up some space in a group, and then you can rearrange other things around and between the group events. Because of this same workflow, importing is also much better. If you import a final draft or fountain script now, you get an option to staircase the story points. And that means that all the story points are spaced out horizontally. This makes it 1,000 times easier to break your story into multiple storylines. So I'll create a new lane. And let me create another one. And then I'll create a new block in each lane and name them for what storyline they are. And now I can simply drag the story points up and down if they should belong to a different storyline. Or I can drag whole groups up and down. So you have to do a pass through your script and split things up. You don't have to be very precise, you can always change your mind. The initial import went into one giant block, but you can also break it up by right-clicking and selecting Split Block. Then you can break it up into more manageable segments. During import, you should also consider splitting long scenes into their constituent beats. And the split snippet dialog is now different. You right-click where you feel a new beat begins. And now you have to select if this is just the same beat in two parts, or if it's an entirely new beat. We'll select New Beat and type some text. So now we've chopped up the script into storylines, and we're ready to work with it in Causality. But before we do that, let's select Compact Layout in the Whiteboard menu. And now the horizontal spacing is compacted and we're ready to work. So there you have it, the first 1.1 release, a major workflow improvement, and major internal changes needed for a very exciting future.